Y'all, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you're looking for a man, just know that the reason you can't find him, a black man specifically, is because he's in Colombia already. He's in Colombia already, y'all. So this is the first time I've come to Colombia like post pandemic. So like seeing it in its like true form of like what the numbers are looking like. And when I tell you that my whole flight was full of it was full of black men traveling with other black men. They come into Colombia, baby. That's why you can't find them. They're all here.
Hey you guys, getting here, you guys. Come on up here. I want to talk about this phenomenal video, you guys. Her name is actually travel content, curvy fashion. Her name, I think the girl is Misty Blue 2. Okay, this video, you guys, I'm going to show you this in a second, but this video talks about how a lot of you guys are thinking the passport bros are dusty. Passport bros are just just the losers leaving and trying to go abroad because they can't get nobody. And you got some of those. But the most times, to be honest, to get a passport to travel and to really live leisurely, remember you are technically on vacation. So to be able to do that, you really can't be dusty. You may be undesirable, but at the end of the day, you really can't be dusty. So this girl, Misty Blue 2, check this video out, you guys, and I'm gonna be right back. It cracks me up. Check this video out. We're gonna be right back in 1 second, and I wanna talk about it.
If you watched my last video, I was speaking to the amount of black men that are currently in Cartagena. So just to be clear, what made this very interesting to me, and this is not my first time in Cartagena. However, my first time in Cartagena was during the pandemic, and so it just wasn't nearly as busy. So this was my first time experiencing Colombia, I think in a more realistic form of just what, the average flight consists of. And it was a extremely large amount of black men. And for reference, I'm a full-time travel content creator, which means I am traveling all around the world, often on flights all the time. And I can honestly say that it is very rare for me to see a large number of black men on a flight that I'm on. It is very, 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 very rare. So to arrive and have a flight full of men, but also to see other flights full of men, and the customs line was crazy long. So when I say that there were black men everywhere, I literally mean there were black men everywhere. But what was the most jarring to me is the realization that I think there's a lot of discourse on the internet, and there's a lot of people that are like, oh, it's just dusties, it's just broke men, it's just men that other women wouldn't date. I saw lots of very attractive men. I saw lots of men who looked like they had means. They looked like they had their stuff together. They were dressed well. They had good luggage. Like these were not men that you're just like, oh, girl, nobody wants them. And so for me, the video really just came from the actual shock of, oh, y'all really be outside with it. Y'all are really coming to Colombia, and this is the type of time that you're on. And I say that because I didn't just see men like, okay, cool, like you're going to Colombia with your homeboys. What was the most shocking to me as I was waiting for my Uber, there were women in club dresses picking up men, and the time was very much like, oh, you've been here before, but it's your homeboy's first time, and she brought somebody for him. And that had me like, oh, okay. And, I see that there's a lot of commentary about what black women look like, or people's shapes and sizes. And yes, like some of the Colombian women that I've seen are beautiful, and some of them are mid and some of them are not. And I think women all over the world look different ways and have different body types. And so it's super fascinating to me, the energy that is just rooted in, oh, well, the reason why black men are going to Colombia is because black women are not desirable. That's wild and egregious. Ain't nobody got time for that. But also too, I will say, as a woman who's been in Colombia, I also feel like the energy of men here is just predatory. I was at dinner last night, and a table full of men came up to myself and the two girls that I was having dinner with, and the energy was very much like, what's up with it? Come through. We got a boat tomorrow. And these weren't black men. These were men from Mexico, men from North Carolina who were white men, and men from other parts of South America. And the energy was very much just like, we're here for a good time, not a long time. And I feel like, you know, that is the energy of men traveling to Colombia. And what's even more interesting is that all the black men that I saw at the airport, I ain't seen none of them in the streets. And I would only assume that's because they laying down somewhere.
Did you guys see that? Tell me Misty Blue is not giving you guys all the serious gems and giving you the truth. Because a black girl telling you, and mind you, black folks, we didn't have passports 10, 15, 20 years ago. This passport phenomenon, you may think they're dusty, you may think they're the losers, but of course, I'm not a loser, I'm not dusty, and most of them are not. The ones you see out there in the streets, they're desperate guys in candy stores, maybe they're second marriage, they're divorcees, they're older, whatever it might be. But 90% of the brothers who are traveling, and mind you, it's not just brothers. It's white folks, it's gay folks, it's women, passport couples, passport families. People are leaving the States in droves. Right now there's 500,000 people, y'all, come here. 500,000 people in America in waiting for their freaking passports right now. Whatever you're thinking about, this issue is not about dusty brothers. This issue, the truth be told, America has a problem right now. Misty Blue right here, Misty Blue is giving you guys the serious gems of letting you know that these folks are traveling. They're meeting up with women and men. They got dates. They've been here before. They are establishing lives abroad. And while we're being coerced through the media and through the social media and through the mainstream media to fight amongst ourselves as black folks, black men, black women, it's an American issue. America right now has an issue because everyone is realizing that abroad in some countries, $1,000 equals $50,000 to $100,000. In some places, you guys, $1,000 equals $50,000 to $100,000. So why is it? So while you guys are arguing about dusty dudes that go abroad because they can take advantage, they can do these things, it's not true. What it is that many men, doesn't matter whether you're making $25,000 a year or $125,000 a year, they're going abroad because abroad they can afford to be the man that they really want to be. They can afford to be respected and loved and appreciated. And if you're making $25,000 a year in America, you're a millionaire like here in the Philippines. So they can be the man that they always knew that they wanted to be. They don't have to settle. They don't have to become, they don't have to argue about things. If a girl wants you to pay for their dinner or pay for their valet, they don't really care about that because it's affordable. And let me tell you this, they're not necessarily cheap. And before black folks woke up and got this, white folks have been doing this for 3 generations. Because at the end of the day, what happens is the quality of life, the quality of food, the fact that you may think they have someone at home cooking and cleaning and all of that stuff. I have not cleaned my house in a decade. I haven't cooked in a decade. I haven't really driven unless I want to drive myself in a decade. That's not what's going on. Abroad, they're living better. And what happens is they can be the man that they really want to be back home to you, but they can't afford it. And what happens is you're blaming these guys, but America, come on. Here in the Philippines, a dozen of eggs is $1.50. In America, my friend told me it's $8 to $12. In America right now, a man, any man, cannot sit up and actually have it to where they are the sole provider and provide for their house. They need their wife to work. I know friends in the Philippines that work at McDonald's as a shift leader and their wife is a housewife. What the fuck is that? Really? Yeah, thank you, travel content, curvy fashions, and Miss Misty Blue. Thank you very much, because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, brothers, sisters, we're figuring out that we are free and we can get our passports, we can leave the country, we can have dual residency and live better, eat better, and be better. That's the real issue. Thank you, Misty, for that video.